welcome to my September vlog, and this is another special vlog because I have decided to create another tag called 5 favorite male characters, or just 5 male characters, as kind of a companion to the first tag I made, 5 female characters, where you have a list of categories and you pick out your favorite female character from that category. And for that one I had hero, villain, superhero, character I would want to be best friends with, and then one who needed character development. So I created that tag, and then I tagged other people, and it actually became really popular, so I was really happy about that. And now I've decided to make a male one, and the characters are slightly different, or the categories are slightly different. Of course the characters are going to be different, they're male, but the categories are going to be hero, villain, anti-hero. And I decided to do anti-hero because it's a little more difficult, and because there's so many male superheroes, that one would just been too obvious. Best book to screen adaptation, because I know people tend to be really picky about that in male characters. And then best character perception, and that may be kind of strange, but I will go more into that when I get to that one. So let's begin with the tag.
She went into the club, Master.
Patience. Use the Force. Think.
Sorry, Master.
You went in there to hide, not to run.
Yes, Master.
Next time, try not to lose it.
Yes, Master.
This weapon is your life.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, oh my gosh, I was so in love with him when I was a kid. Well, Ewan McGregor's portrayal of him, I loved him, and I really think that Obi-Wan Kenobi is like the epitome of what a true hero is. The reason being is he was just an ordinary man. There was nothing really great or extraordinary about him. He was just a man who knew what was right and did what was right and was willing to die for it. And in many ways, what I liked about him is he was a very humble person. You know, when he was younger, he tended to be rash and maybe a little too full of himself. But his humility as he got older really is what defined him, made him very different from other characters in the Star Wars series. So, you know, for me, I wish there were more characters out there like Obi-Wan Kenobi, because he really is the epitome in many ways of what a real knight is, of what a real warrior is. And he's just a genuinely good person, but he's also a fearless person. There isn't anything he wouldn't say, there isn't anything he wouldn't do in the name of doing it for the right reason. So that is why Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite hero.
This marks the beginning of the rise of the Antichrist. He will control 10 kingdoms, which in turn will control the world. The Antichrist will sit in the temple of God, and he will declare to the whole world that he is God.
Nicolae Carpathia, oh my gosh, this guy is like the stuff of nightmares. He's terrifying in those movies. Now, in the books, he's really boring. He's really boring, kind of shallow, don't really get into his mind, but in the movies, you really got to see kind of really what was going on inside of him, because they were able to focus more on the character in many ways and give more character development. So Gordon Curry, the man who plays Nicolae, really just took this character and ran with it. He made him so conniving and so manipulative and so scary. I mean, he's really what you would expect the Antichrist to be like. So yeah, Nicolae is like my top villain, my absolute top villain. He's scary, but he's brilliant at it.
All right. This one time. This one time, I'll let you ask me about my affairs.
Anti-hero, really in many ways, there's a lot of definitions behind it. I think an anti-hero is somebody who does the wrong things for the right reasons. And no one, in my opinion, epitomizes that more than Michael Corleone. Michael never wanted to be in the mafia. He never wanted this job, but he took it on because there was no one else to do it. And in the name of protecting his family and keeping those safe, he was willing to murder. He was willing to lie to people. He was willing to do whatever it took to keep his wife and his children and the family business safe. And in many ways, that mentality began to warp and change over time. And Michael became he became a monster. And he realizes that. And in the name of trying to keep everyone safe, he lost everyone. Now, in the third one, there is a sense of redemption. He does get that back, and he manages to, for the most part, legitimize the family and kind of try to bring them together as much as possible. But Michael, really, as an anti-hero, you kind of pity him, you kind of loathe him, and at the same time, you really want to get into his mind and understand who he is.
Come ti chiami?
Mi chiamo Vito Corleone.
Vito Corleone. Ti pigliaste un nome di sto paese, ah? E sto paese come si chiama?
Io si chiama Antonio Mandolini.
When I read the book, I know it was like the second Godfather character. When I read the book, The Godfather, it was very interesting reading about Vito Corleone as kind of this young orphan who was running away from the mafia. He lost everything because of the mafia. Mafia killed his father, killed his parent, killed his brother, killed his mother. His mother was really played a huge role in trying to keep him safe. So you have this young boy who leaves Sicily, goes to America at 9 years old, has nothing, is orphaned completely because of the mafia, and then ends up going back into that life. And the reason doing that is because his baby is dying. He has a child that is dying, and he had no choice. He had to save his little boy. And then once you're in there, you can't get out. And Robert De Niro and Marlon Brando, but primarily Robert De Niro, just were absolutely amazing in that role. Like, they took the role of Vito and just made him word for word verbatim from the book. Really, they're kind of very different in many ways, but of course, young Vito is going to be very different from older Vito. And that is really one of the reasons why I love Vito so much, is that you do see character and change and development in him, but still maintains in many ways a sense of goodness about him, of wanting to do the right thing, which is what his son Michael lost over time. So for me, the best book to screen adaptation would be Vito Corleone.
You are still dangerous. You can be my wingman anytime.
Bullshit. You can be mine.
Okay, character perception is very different from character development. Character perception is really how the audience views him, whereas character development is how the story views the person. So when I was watching Top Gun, you see the movie, you see Tom Cruise's character, Maverick, he's the hero and everything, and then he goes to this school, and he immediately sees his rival, Tom Kaczynski, or Iceman, as he's known by everyone. And really how the story portrays it is, you think, oh, he's going to be the hero. He's going to be the villain, not the hero. He's going to be the villain. He's going to be the one that's always going to try to bring him down and everything. And in many ways, that's what it's kind of portrayed as, is he's constantly coming down on Maverick, and he's telling him, you can't be doing this, you have to stop. He's very by the book and everything. And then really, after a terrible accident, Maverick loses his best friend, and everything comes back on him. Everything that Iceman told him was correct. And Iceman is good. He's as good as he is as a pilot because he's so by the book. So audience perception of Iceman slowly changes and slowly shifts over time. He never changed. As a matter of fact, those type of characters that don't change and audience perception of them that changes over time, those are the type of characters that help with character development in other characters. And I think it's always nice to kind of have those characters where you think that they're one way, and then the story shifts, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, now I understand why they are the way that they are. That makes sense. So his character never changed. That's who he was. But it sometimes had to take a certain incident. Sometimes it has to take something heartbreaking for your hero to realize he was right all the time. This makes sense why he is the way that he is. So yeah, I definitely see Iceman as a really good example of character perception. And that is it. So that is my 5 male character tags, or my 5 male character tag. And tagging other people is optional, but I will tag Sarah from How to Watch a Movie, Olivia from Meanwhile in Rivendell, Mary Beth from Formidable Courage, and that's going to be fun because I know she has a lot of favorite male characters, so I'm really going to enjoy seeing what she chooses. Jamie from Through Two Blue Eyes, and she always comes up with great answers. And Bella DeLallo from, what is the name of your site again? It used to be To Say Nothing of Reality, but she changed the name of her site. But yeah, Bella DeLallo. I'll put the name is underneath. So that is it for now. I'm really glad I was able to do this. This is really one of the best vlogs I've ever done. Hopefully this will work out with all of the video clips I was able to put in, and I wasn't able to, hopefully I won't get any copyright infringement from YouTube. So I will see you in October.